Alright, so today we got this cast iron skillet. It's a Wagner. This is from my mom's side of the family. It's from around, from I can tell, the 20s or 30s era, in that range. But I still use this thing every week. It's in pretty good shape, but it's getting a lot of buildup and scaly here around the edges and stuff. So we're going to take a wire wheel on a drill motor and start the seasoning process all over again after we do that. So first thing we're going to do is just go over this whole thing with the wire wheel. This is going to be a process. It's pretty thick in there. Charge up a couple of batteries and we'll be back. Alright guys, well that was the job. A few different wire wheels and some sandpaper. I got it presentable. Probably be a little better. Make sure you give it a good rinse with some Dawn soap and get all the little pieces of the wire brush out of there and rust and medical particles and everything else. Make sure you dry it off right away so it don't rust. We're going to do the seasoning process on this old Coleman stove out here. You can do it on your stove inside, but it's probably going to set your alarm off, your fire alarm off, and smoke out your house, make it stinky. Ideally you do this in an oven, but this works too, this method. So what I like to do is heat the pan up a little bit, dry it up, heat it up a little bit. I like to use Crisco and a good old paper towel. Once this pan gets heated up a little bit, we'll wipe the whole pan down with it, and then we'll put it back on the fire and until it gets good and smoky. Then we'll turn it off, let it cool down. Do the process again about 4 times. With the Crisco, we'll do the inside and the outside. Then we'll do the inside about 4 more times, but I like to use, we'll use olive oil. And after that, you can start using it. Don't really, I try to just wipe it out with a paper towel. For upkeep after that, if you have to, just use water. Try not to use soap on it. If it does get really bad, I find bacon. I try not to fry bacon in this too much. So then what I'll do is I'll heat the pan up, get the water in your sink going really hot, hot as it'll get. And then I'll just splash it out of the sink with a sponge with the rough side, and then it kind of steams cleans it. But then you gotta season it probably once more after that every time when you do clean it like that. Okay, let's get this wiped up here. Got the old Coleman that I found in the garbage. Wipe this water out. already getting rusty here. Let's see. Fresh towel. And dip it in here. Start wiping it. Get nice and shiny. Handle and everything. Like I said, ideally this would be done in an oven situation, but I don't want to smoke out the house. Turn this heat up a little bit. And keep this on until it starts smoking up real good. Then we'll turn it off, let it cool down, and we'll repeat this total of 4 times. And then we'll repeat it again with just the inside with olive oil another 4 times. I don't know if you can see that, it's starting to smoke up pretty good now. And we'll turn it off, let it cool down. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, this is a cool or heat and cool and season 4 times process with the Crisco. And we're going to do 4 times with the olive oil just on the inside. See how we're getting the color change, starting to darken up, seasoning starting to stick. Do the same process with stainless steel too. It's pretty much all I cook with now, stainless steel and cast iron, because those coated pans, that stuff can't be good for you, especially when it starts flaking off in your food and stuff. Yeah, hit this with some olive oil now. If you're looking for some good stainless steel pans, I've been using American cookware. They're made here in the United States. Oops. Put this around. This old common stove works good. It's already hot. So we're just going to do this 4 times, and then they're good. So of course, after you use this the first time, I like to just wipe it out if I can. But if you cook something that's messy or it doesn't start to stick, then try to scrape it out. Have a metal scraper. And then of course, once it's clean, do this process once. You don't have to do it the 4 times, but just try to do it every time after you use it. Oil it, heat it up, and then let it cool down. And then if it's really messed up, you can do the heated up thing and then run it onto the hot water with the sponge and just try to steam it out. Works pretty good. But always season it once after you have to clean it out like that, or use a sponge or something. It's good just to keep it up like that. But if you can, just try to wipe it out. That's what I try to do with a towel. Okay, one thing I want to point out is now that we're oiling this and stuff, you can, the parts are coming out. You can tell I didn't clean good enough. These dark parts, I thought it was clean, felt smooth and everything. It was hard to tell. But now, yeah, we're oiling it and stuff. It's bringing out those spots that I didn't brush off as good as I thought I did. But it is what it is. Eventually the rest of this panel will match this. It'll build up and match it over time. So this is just how I do it. And it works for me. Definitely make sure you're more thorough than I am when you're wire brushing it. It looked good and it felt smooth and everything, but the oil really brings out the spots that you miss. And it's not going to hurt anything. Eventually the rest of the pan will build up to that again anyways. So alrighty.